The idea of inclusion of both of millions of years into my tribute project arrived at the early stage of the second phase, which was solely targeted at what was going to become something deep inside me. I love this song. It is charming, beautiful, and I play it loud when circumstances allow. At some point I tried to write down the transcript of the song by writing the chords, the chord letters, and as always I have checked them both on guitar and piano. I'm not sure whether they are correct in terms of being similar to the original version, but my piano playing offered to add some additional notes, high notes.
The song was released on Refugees single in 1970 as B-side and only reached long-play vinyl in 1972. However, the band played it during their live shows. If you compare the survived live recordings with the studio original, you will find out that it lacks the first verse, which the band used to play live, and which exists in printed form in Peter Hammill's book of lyrics, Killers, Angels, Refugees, and on his website. It could have been considered duplicating the second verse or making the song longer than needed, or probably the second one sounded better.
But I was always captured by the idea of bringing back that first verse. If not a song verse, why shouldn't I turn it into a narrative? I thought some kind of divine narrative, something like the opening scene in the Lord of the Rings movie.
Leslie Diaz, one of the founding members of the 1243K band and a good friend of ours, has Mexican roots. She is an American, a native English speaker. At first I was going to ask her to find a native English speaker, but then I thought, she has a beautiful voice, she is a native speaker, she is a woman, what else do you need, Nick? On the 23rd of June 2015, Leslie appeared at the Brevis Studio.
I remember Levon was still setting up the booth with mics and so, and Leslie was sitting here checking the homework of her students. When everything was prepared, we did a sound check, 1 and 2 and 3, and then I gave her 2 pieces of paper with written down extracts from the text which she had to read. I explained her role for both of the songs, and then she did some tests, and then she began to read.
Horus, the son of Isis, lay in the marshes of Budo, poisoned by Set. She called out to the high god Ra to kill this evil, that her child
That was the shortest
yet.
session we ever had for this record, and nevertheless it resulted in something which actually required for this song. I wanted to get some divine narrative, and she produced it. I remember she told me when she was leaving, Mick, you're a great director. And now I say, Leslie, you're a great actor.
The life of be innocent.
But the process of actual recording began much earlier, on 26th of November 2014, when acoustic guitar track was drafted, then proceeded with piano on the 18th and drums on the 21st of December 2014, played by Ashot Gorganyan. The rest of instruments followed, and soon we had all tracks prepared for mixing. Or I should say, we thought we had all the tracks recorded. In fact, we were somewhere in the middle. We added guitars, bass, even tried with some keyboards, but still no resonance was felt. During the past few months I've been listening to the draft mixes, and the idea of embellishing the Oriental theme with Oriental features became sturdy enough to bring in something unexpected.
We asked our friend Aydin Davudi to run into the studio for half an hour, but we were silent about the reason. Actually, Levon did that, and he did not even say about me being there in the studio. On the 7th of May, I remember that was we met each other here at Brevis Studio.
Aydin Davudi studied contemporary classical music composition at Yerevan State Conservatory. He's music composer, producer, singer, an audio engineer, a sound designer. His knowledge of different Oriental singing styles gave me a key to ask him to do some singing.
He asked to explain, and when he found out that the song deals with Egypt, he said, "Oh, that should not be Arabian singing. That should be different. It's not ah. It should be ah." Anyway, that was all Greek to me. What Aydin did really improved the resulting material. Again, we had a short recording session, and Aydin used the whole time through. He did a number of takes, and when he was satisfied, he and Levon appeared with another idea, as I call it, martial respiration, all those he-hoo-has. I didn't want it to sound rich, so he did 8 takes of each of those he-hoo-has.
The sound was clean, the instruments sounded like we wanted them to. The vocals were in place, but we still felt uncomfortable with the way the drums were presented, so we decided to try with various percussions. We added shakers, but still to no positive effect.
I remember we recorded the shaker, and we wanted to check how the resulting track was, so we muted some drums and cymbals, and suddenly received that tiny resonance we were waiting for. We turned off snare drum, some of the toms, the rest of cymbals. It began sounding better. The sound was better. We dared to mute down the whole drum set, and that was it. initial drums in this particular case turned out to be inappropriate. Ashot is a great drummer, and he is responsible for bringing a lot of risky numbers for this project, and for this and for the international All of Us Pilgrims 2 CD project, which should be out by the end of this year. The numbers, which I would say roll the whole snowball for this something deep inside me. But in this particular case, those drums sounded incoherent with the main direction of my version. We still needed some minimum of traditional drum unit, so Levon took the drummer's seat and for this session and played. After that we started adding more instruments, single tone, boom, boom, congas. Levon played congas. Then Levon appeared with another great idea of bringing in a cajon. It was somewhere here in the studio. He recorded it twice by slapping with his hands and with brushes, with two mics in front, two different microphones, front and rear. So the wave of sound grew more and more. Electric guitars added, and there is the sound panorama and more backing vocals, and in the end, like cherry on the ice cream, the sound had gone. According to my records, all the percussions were recorded on 16th of June 2015, and we felt that we are on the right way, and we had a lot of fun those days, on that day. We kept on playing. For example, we were recording Shaker, and then we stopped, but the record was going on. We did not turn it off, and we continued with Shaker and with Tom and with all of the percussion and drums and vocals we recorded that day. So in the end we had a tale of creaks, of rattle of percussions, distant voices imitating some fake falses like da 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 da. So finally I classified it as chant, and you can hear it as the tale at the end of the Boat of Millions of Years.
The Boat of Millions of Years proved to be the right choice for the album. The selection was challenging, the version risky, with additional verse brought back, new arrangement, ethnic vocals added, and it was fun to do it. The song, written many decades ago, lives its own life. The same characters plucked out of thin air, and the same scenes they create have just been presented in a different form.